We got more news for the Chicago Bulls if they have extended a qualifying offer to Adama Sanogo. We're going to get to it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host here, Haize. You guys already know what that is. We got breaking news. This came down about an hour ago, so not as breaking as we're usually really right behind the news, but the Bulls have extended a qualifying offer to Adama Sanogo, the center out of Connecticut, UConn, that he played with in college. And this is a guy that we signed as an undrafted rookie last year, and then he came in and played very good in the G League. Only played 9 games in the NBA, but when you look at his G League stats last season for Adama Sanogo, 20.4 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 1.4 assists, over 1 block per game, and right under a steal per game as well. Very efficient from the floor, shooting the ball 61% from the field overall, mainly doing that all around the paint area as well. Even though he shot 3-pointers in college, did not really try to utilize that 3 at the G League level because it's a slow shot. He's not really going to be able to get it off, and he's adapted really well to that. The 12.7 rebounds, and out of that, 6 of those being offensive rebounds. It's a really good sign of things that he could do at the NBA level. And so while he only played 9 games at the NBA level, he did average 4 points, 4 rebounds in that time, and that was only in 7 minutes. So I'll tell you what, to get 4 points and 4 rebounds in 7 minutes on 51% shooting, that's really good. And most Bulls fans are going to remember the game that Adama Sanogo had where he had 22 points and 20 rebounds. He played 35 minutes that game. That was the most minutes he played. As a matter of fact, if you almost add up every other game that he played in those 9 games, it still doesn't equate to the minutes that he played when he got that 35-minute game for the Chicago Bulls in April against the Washington Wizards. 20 rebounds, 22 points, 1 steal in that game as well. So Adama Sanogo could become a very important piece for the Chicago Bulls this season, and not because of anything to go on with Nikola Vucevic or anything like that, but when you look at it, the Bulls are right up against that luxury tax. And so if they cannot move players and get a center back, Adama Sanogo could be inheriting that backup center role from Andre Drummond, who is an unrestricted free agent and is not likely to return to the Chicago Bulls. So this could be the Bulls really safeguarding that. You extend him a qualifying offer, that makes him a restricted free agent. They can match any offer he gets. They can also negotiate with him. I expect him to be back here in the Bulls uniform, but look out for what this could mean for the role of Adama Sanogo. The Bulls, who need some size, even with their acquisitions of Josh Giddey, Matas Bucelis can eventually be a 4. They didn't do anything at the center position, and you're losing a center like Andre Drummond, who's shown basically with 16 to 18 minutes, he can get you a double-double. Getting a young player like Adama Sanogo, who is only 22 years old, to be able to come back to the Chicago Bulls. He won't turn 23 until February. We'll be about halfway through the season there. So this could be one of the best situations in which the Bulls really do develop from within. So we'll see what that brings, but I'm glad that Adama Sanogo is coming back to the Chicago Bulls. Like I said in many videos before, he basically showed everything that you want from him in the G League level. Now it's about giving him the opportunity at the NBA level to show that he belongs and show that he can play center for the Chicago Bulls. So that's what it comes down to. I really like the fact that they extended this qualifying offer. I hope that he's back in the Bulls uniform, and that's what it comes down to. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights says, evening, what's going on? JPEG says, good news. Absolutely. I think this is really great news. Working hard this is what we do in the offseason. This is what we do in the offseason. Nobody breaks news like us in the offseason. We give the most comprehensive coverage of any Chicago Bulls show around. So we in here. What's going on, Corn? Glad to have you in the building as well. Hey, I hope we see him get some actual backup center minutes. I hope so too. And when you look at what the Bulls do, right? The center position is one, any type of big position. We are very thin at that position. And so I hope that Adama really does get a chance as well. We got Shay, who hasn't left a voicemail in a while, says, well-deserved. I like him ever since he was in college. A lot of people are going to agree with you on that one, Shay. Sanogo was a big get as far as undrafted rookies last year. I think he was the number 1 undrafted rookie on the board. You look at how accomplished he was in college. The fact that, he didn't get drafted just kind of shows like how kind of the modern big man is and things like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Love the crispy fit. Come on now. I'm always in a crispy fitted. Like that's just what we do here, man. I'm not bald, by the way. Appreciate all your hard work and effort, Haize. Thank you for that, the MR. Like, this is what we do, man. I said it when we created this channel. And when I decided to cover the Bulls, I wanted to do it at a level that I want the subscription here to be worth it. And when people subscribe to Chicago Bulls Central, I want them to feel like they get all their news in one spot. So hopefully I'm doing a good job at bringing that, man. Haize and Pat, by far the best Locked On podcast. Appreciate that, brother. Winton says, if the Bulls keep him, I just hope Billy actually finally lets him play next season. I mean, let's be clear. Andre Drummond didn't even play a lot of minutes last year, so it made sense that there wouldn't be very many minutes for Adama. But yeah, hopefully now with Drummond being on his way out, this definitely changes something. Haize, the best damn Chicago Bulls content creator in the planet recognized. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, man. From what I heard last year, the Bulls were going to plan to draft him if they had a second round pick, but at the time they didn't have one. Yeah, I read that too, and it's good that they were still able to get their guy. That shows that hopefully they're going to be invested in his development, and we're going to need it. Like this is the type of signings like Adama Sanogo are what really good franchises do that they can develop, right? So I hope that Adama is somebody. He did everything that you like. There's no reason for him to be at the G League this upcoming season. There's every reason to play him and see what he can do at the NBA level. He's already shown he can dominate. And then when you look at how that season went for Adama, he adjusted to the game, right? You could tell early in that season, I covered every Windy City Bulls game last year, that he was getting outworked on times as far as the speed, adjusting to that. And then he just learned how to use the size eventually. And so let's hope that continues here in the NBA level for him as well. Jamoy says, what's next for the Bulls, Haize? Hey, we got to get through free agency first. Let's see what comes about that. Is it too early to look at the 2025 as a year to really kick this rebuild off in the right direction, assuming we keep our pick next year? No, you got to start laying that groundwork now. And like I said, they're doing a heavy retooling. Wouldn't necessarily call it a full-on rebuild, but here's the thing. Next year is the absolute time where you can find a franchise-changing talent at. And let's hope that the Bulls can do that. Smart signing from the Bulls. Hopefully Billy plays him. He's really good. He gives you effort in the basketball court. Hard work and effort pays off. I mean, there's a lot of players that work hard in the NBA but suck. But no, I mean, yeah, you like to think that. Giddey, Kobe, Buzelis, P. Will, and Sanogo, that should be a good rebounding team. Yeah, it really should, Quentin. You're absolutely right on that one. Appreciate your content. The season is way out. Your content makes me feel like we're in the game. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Who do you think Mattis eventually replaces if he hops in the starting? I mean, he's just going to be the starting three right away. Yeah, I think so. I've always compared it to similar, like KD. He played the two his first 2 years in the league. Eventually moved on to the three. Eventually now plays power forward. So Mattis Buzelis, I think, is going to slate in at the three initially until he gains on some weight, but he could be a long-term four. I'm still trying to fix my phone because I haven't left a voicemail in a while, but I don't know what's going on because I was able to call into the Kanye Boy show. Hey, bro, you got to check to see if your parents blocked the number. I've checked multiple times. You're not blocked at all, bro. PG-13 declined his player option, opens the door for the Bulls to replace DeMar. I mean, the Bulls to replace DeMar? I mean, they're not going to get PG-13. If you mean Mattis, then yeah, I think that's why they drafted him. Mattis off the bench. He's still too young, in my opinion, unless he learns both sides of the ball quickly. But the starters in the league may attack him first if he starts. Well, that's going to happen regardless. That's what you need to happen. He's going to be attacked, but that's you forge it through fire. Draft players that were expected to go as high as Mattis Buzelis, unless you have somebody like there's nobody that should be starting unless DeMar returns ahead of Mattis Buzelis. So I won't say that he's too young. He needs to adjust. He went from high school to playing against grown men. This jump is minuscule compared to what he did last year. I don't want to hide him. Now, I don't want to play him at the 4 yet, but I do think he can play at the 3. I just watched Bulls Digest video saying Zach is staying. Listen, I love the new host of Bulls Digest. I don't always know where they get some of their shit from, but I love the host there. If they send him back to the G League next season after everything, that's a huge slap in the face. I mean, I can definitely see why you feel that way. What do you think about James Wiseman? I'm not. I'd rather give those minutes to Adama Sanogo, to be 100% honest with you. Would much rather. Would you be mad if Drum is our starting? Mad? No, but he's not coming back here. He's not coming back here. Like, y'all got to give up the drum thing. He's not coming back. We're finally heading in the right direction. Seems that way. We'll see. We'll see. I speak for the light skins when I say you are the definition of consistent effort. Well, thank you for that, bro. I appreciate that, man. How tall is he again? He's 6'9". 6'9" with, I believe, a 7'2" wingspan, if I'm not mistaken there. They want that top 10 pick smart. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely smart to want to keep a top 10 pick in what's probably going to be one of the deepest drafts around. So, but all right, y'all. I just wanted to bring this update real quick to you guys. You guys know when news drops, we drop. It's a simple process here at Chicago Bulls Central. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We are 2 subscribers away from 18,600 subscribers. We're trying to get to 20,000 subs by the start of the season. Love you if you guys can help us with that, man. But with that being said, make sure you guys are following the show. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See Red, y'all.